Strap in, sis. We're going on a little ride for this one. If you're a writer, you have probably heard of writer's block. I'm pretty sure most writers on the planet have heard of writer's block. I'm often asked, how do you push through writer's block? What do you do when you're not feeling motivated? What do you do when the words just won't seem to flow? You might not like me very much after I say this, but I don't know if I really believe in writer's block. And let me clarify real quick. I'm not saying that there aren't moments that exist where it's hard to find the words, you don't seem to know what's going on in your project, you can't seem to figure your characters out, stuff like that. That definitely happens. You're not, you're not imagining that. Nobody's making that up. But that's not writing's fault. And I think that's why so many of us have such a hard time coming out of that mode or stepping out of that place, because we're not placing the blame on the appropriate culprit. It's not writing's fault. The words, it's not them. Do you have writer's block, or are you tired? Are you exhausted because you have kids and a job and a household to manage, or ailing parents, or annoying siblings, or a stressful job, or the person in the apartment above you won't turn your damn music down? Like, do you have writer's block, or are these external factors weighing on you, but you're so used to those external factors weighing on you that you place the blame on the easier thing and call it writer's block, when really there are other outside issues that need to be addressed? Just a thought. And to be like perfectly clear, this is not me judging you. This is me understanding you. We're commiserating here. There's no judgment. I recognize it because I live it. Sometimes I have not gotten enough sleep and the words don't flow. Sometimes my kids are getting on my nerves and the words don't flow. Sometimes I got an email that upset me and the words don't flow. That's not writer's block. That's life. It just is what it is. And so with that said, my first tip for getting over writer's block is to be kind to yourself. Yeah, it's being kind to yourself and recognizing that all this external stuff, it factors in and it matters. Like, we're living through freaking World War Z, racist mobs storming the Capitol building, student loans don't seem to be going anywhere. Folks are banning the teaching of history. Home prices aren't coming down. We're facing a chicken wing shortage. It's hard out here. It's hard out here. And the last thing you need is you beating up on yourself talking about some writer's block. You're not blocked. You're stressed out. You're exhausted. You're tired. That ain't block. It's called human. Like, take a step back. Take a step back. Stop and think, stop and breathe, and address some of those other things before you sit down and beat yourself up because you've got writer's block. Maybe it's not even that. Maybe you just need some more sleep. Maybe you need to drink some more water. Maybe you need to set some boundaries with some people. Maybe you need to tell them kids, mommy is off duty right now. You can pop some chicken nuggets in the air fryer.
That's cute now, but that ain't my problem, sis. It ain't stress. It ain't exhaustion. It's writer's block. Are you gonna give me something for real or not?
You're right. Sometimes it's not any of that stuff. Sometimes it is for real. Some mental baggage or something like that that's going on with us that is preventing us from being able to reach our full productive potential and all of that. That's true. It's absolutely true. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you tips. The rest, the other 4 tips, are gonna be based on what's going on in my head when I find myself in those moments. So are you blocked or are you hard-headed? That's tip number 2. Is it writer's block, or do you just not know how to listen? Listen to who? Those characters trying to talk to you. The story ain't going the way you wanted it to go, or the way you thought it was going to go, or the way somebody in the reviews thought it was going to go, or somebody in your readers group, or one of your betas, or your mama, or your cousin and them. Everybody said, oh, I just know Tay Tay is gonna, she gonna get everybody back. She gonna roll up in there and and Tay Tay ain't even worried about all of that. But because of what you thought, because of what the other folks thought, you gonna make Tay Tay do what you think Tay Tay ought to be doing. And Tay Tay is like,
you wanna argue? I can't argue with you. You mad?
Y'all seen that meme? It's funny. I'm gonna do a reel about that. But anyway, back to my points. Are you really blocked? Are the characters not talking, or are you too busy trying to finagle that situation into what you think it should be, instead of letting the story flow as it's really coming to you, because you think, oh, this isn't good enough, or this isn't this enough, or this isn't that enough? I'm waiting, like, for real. Like, are you letting the story do what it wants to do? Because I know for me, typically, when I find myself in that situation, very often it's because of that very thing right there. I'm trying to manipulate this thing into what I want it to look like, instead of letting the story be what it is and just reporting it as it comes. So, something to think about. Number 3, are you blocked, or are you leaning into toxicity disguised as community? This is a big one.
You're gonna have to say a whole lot more words. A whole lot more words.
Oh, I've got a ton of words to say. You got to stop complaining about writing on social media. I get it. You are looking for community. You want to make sure that you're not alone. You want to you want to know that someone else is out there. You want to know that you aren't the only one feeling this feeling. You're not the only one who has these frustrations and all of that. I get that. But in case you haven't noticed, people on social media are excellent at complaining. They are excellent at complaining. They are freaking experts in misery. And you tiptoe on over to Twitter.
You know, writing is so hard. I hate it. Why does everything have to be so hard? And here they come. You show right. I don't know why anybody does this. And then this, and this, and this, and that. And you know what? Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it that way. But you're right. It is this, and this. And And let me tell you about this other negative thing too. And girl, you know what? I hadn't even thought that deep into the negativity. But here's something else. Here's some more negative shit for me to pile on top of it.
How is that productive? How is that serving you? It ain't at all. I get it. You want to be real about what you're going through. You want to be real about your process, but you're going to have to find some people that you can have nuanced conversations with about that. I talk to my friends who happen to also be writers. I talk to them about the difficulties and frustrations, all of that I face when writing all the time. Literally, we are always complaining to each other about writing. I'm not suggesting that you should not complain about writing. I'm suggesting that you should not complain about it on social media, because social media has very little nuance in the way that one-on-one conversations can. I complain to my friends because I know they're going to temper me. And my friends know that when they complain to me about writing, they know I'm going to temper them. We can have our moments and all of that for sure, but you need someone who's going to be able to give you some balance for all of that negativity that you're feeling about your writing. You don't need someone who's just going to help you lean into it, because you're leaning into it and you're falling in and you're just digging a deeper and deeper hole, to the point that now you're feeling nothing but negative about your writing. You're feeling nothing but that toxicity. And it goes back to, how does that serve you? It does not. There are so many people on the internet who call themselves authors, but all they do is complain about writing. There's never any books. There's never any short stories. There's never any snippets. There's never any inspiration images or anything like that. There is only complaints. And I'm not saying that they're not writers. What I am saying is that that's not the type of community that you need, unless that's the type of community that you want. If you want real community, you're going to have to find some people who are like-minded with you. You're going to have to find some people who have some sort of balance. Don't lean into negativity. Are you blocked, or are you trying to write something that you're not even interested in and don't have any business trying to write anyway? You're going to have to stop trying to write to market.
Write to market? What's that?
Writing to market is when you see some new hot publishing trend and you try to write something so that you can capitalize on that trend, so that you're right along with everybody. There ain't nothing but tears down that trail, sis. Don't do it. I think that writing to market is a terrible idea for indies. But again, I get it. You see so-and-so who puts out a book about X and they're getting so much love for it, and readers are loving it, and readers are saying, oh my goodness, I've been waiting for something like this. I needed something like this. Give me all of the X. Give me all of the pink highlighter romance. I'm looking at a pink highlighter. Don't ask. I don't know what that is. Who knows? Anyway, let me tell you why that's a bad idea. If you have a pink highlighter romance already and there's renewed interest around pink highlighter romances, by all means, market yours. I heard y'all was looking for pink highlighter romance. Here I go. Okay? This makes sense. But, oh man, they're looking for pink highlighter romance. I'm writing yellow crinkle paper romance. That's the other thing I'm looking at. Again, don't ask. I'm writing yellow crinkle paper romance right now. Let me put this down and write a pink highlighter romance too. But what happens? By the time your pink highlighter romance has been properly packaged for selling, you get it out and you market it and everything, everybody's moved on from pink highlighter romance. They're on white button romance right now. That's the new hot thing. Nobody, pink highlighter romance, that's so last week. But now you've put all your energy into that, because that's what was hot. That's what was hot. That's what everybody wanted. That's what everybody was on. Why don't they want me, man? You will never keep up with that, and you will run yourself in the ground trying to. You write what moves you. Write what feels good. Write what keeps the words flowing for you. All these trends in publishing, everybody wants to write a motorcycle club, or not write. Everybody wants to read a motorcycle club. Everybody wants to read historical. Everybody wants to read YA. Everybody wants to read trampoline romance. Everybody wants to read insert whatever trend here. It's gonna come back around. It's gonna come back around. No matter what you're writing, the trend is gonna come back around. It's gonna come back around. And when it does, you'll be ready for it because you already have it. But not only that, that trend stuff is really overblown. Readers are gonna read it anyway. Like, this might be the thing that everybody's talking about. Everybody is talking about pink highlighter romance for sure. But green foam roller romance, they reading that too. Teal yoga mat romance, they reading that too. Like, just write whatever keeps those words flowing for you, and stop being worried about what the market wants. The market is going to be constantly moving. Do you? Oh, and last but most certainly not least, are you blocked, or are you comparing yourself to other authors? You're going to have to stop thinking the grass is greener on the other side. You're going to have to stop that. You're going to have to stop that, especially to the point that you're paralyzed by, oh, well, so-and-so put a book out and you know, I put a book out around the same time and her book did this, but mine didn't. And so now I'm done writing. I'm not gonna write no more. Girl, if you don't get you. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. You have no idea what is going on with someone else. That person whose career you call yourself envying, you have no idea what type of sacrifices they had to make. You have no idea what they had to agree to. You have no idea what they went through. You have no idea what they lost on the way. You have no idea if it looks as if it, you have no idea if it is as good as it looks on the surface. But you're not going to do what you're going to do. You're not going to keep pushing forward. You're not going to keep moving because of what it looked like for somebody else. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I get it. It's frustrating. And I know that it's frustrating because I've had those moments. You think I don't watch other authors get things I wish that I could have for myself? Not that like that it's theirs. They can have it, but it's things that it's goals, it's heights and aspirations and things that I want for my career too that haven't happened for me yet. But you think because of what's happening for them, because it's not my turn yet, I'm not gonna write? I'm gonna be so focused on their grass that I'm not paying attention to my own? We're not doing that. So there's a common theme here that you may or may not have picked up, but through all of these, the common idea is that to get over writer's block, you have to get over yourself. That's really it. That's really it. I know you don't want to hear that. I know that's not, you know, what you had in mind for advice, but you're going to have to get over yourself. In none of those scenarios that I gave you is the plot the problem, the character is the problem, the words the problem. It's not writer's block. It's us. It's us. Stop blaming writing. It's us. It's us. We let all this external stuff into our headspace, into our writing space. We let all of that stuff build up a barrier, and then we call it writer's block and go kiki about it with other people online. That's so unfair. That's so unfair. So ultimately, to tackle this idea of writer's block, to combat this, we really have to be honest with ourselves and take the time to really figure out what is going on with us, what's going on with ourselves that has us in this place where the words are not flowing. Do I have writer's block, or am I not taking good care of myself? Do I have writer's block, or am I trying to tell the story what to do instead of letting the story tell itself? Do I have writer's block, or have I gotten too deeply immersed in somebody else's toxicity to the point that I can't even produce? Do I have writer's block, or am I not even interested in the story and I'm just doing it because I see other people doing it? Do I have writer's block, or am I placing unfair expectations on myself and being too heavily burdened down by that in order to be able to get anything done? Like, really ask yourself, like really talk through that and figure that out. I'm pretty sure it's one of them. I'm pretty sure it's one of them. And if it's not, come back and let me know, and I'll see what I can do. I'll see what other advice I could dig down in my bag and find. But if it is one of those, you let me know about that one too. Don't be scared to tell me I'm right, honey, because I know. Anyway, I hope that you were able to get something good out of this. A lot of times I get inboxes and stuff from you guys like, oh my God, you did not have to drag me like that. But listen, any dragging that you feel, trust me, it's an internal drag of myself as well. None of these things happen in a vacuum. Like I don't see this by just observing other people. I've come to this place because these are things that I have lived through and things that I still experience. As much as I wish I was, I am not immune to any of this. I still fall into these very same traps. But again, that's why I recognize them. And hopefully my transparency can help you avoid some of them as much as you can, or at least even if you can't avoid them, you know that you are not alone, and I won't lean into any toxicity with you. We're going to get through it because there is glory on the other side. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let this go so that I can get this edited and get this up. As always, thank you guys so much for your support. Please, if you are not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. I love when you guys leave comments. I have been kind of out of the loop for a minute because I was releasing a book and then going into story time and all of that. But I'm going to do my best to be present more moving forward and all of that. But I absolutely see all of the comments and I do try to get back to them to respond. So if you're feeling something, please feel free to drop me a line and you'll hear from me. But anyway, back to the point. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and all of that. I love you and go write. Bye.